Hello and welcome from Santa Cruz, California, to wherever you are in the world. Today's show had a few technical difficulties, but we forged ahead to fix them, so I hope that you don't notice, as we have some valuable conversations ahead. I am Susan Douglas, alone today as Denise is away. Today on Go Ahead and Tell Me, we're bringing together two artists whose lives were shaped by Africa in very different ways. One is Mary Collis, a Kenyan artist known for her powerful use of colour and abstraction, and a key figure in building Kenya's community through Roma. The other, Michelle McClune, came to Africa first as a veterinarian and conservationist, and only later discovered painting as a way to make sense of what she'd seen, felt, and fought to protect, especially in Kenya. One is a child of Africa, the other discovered Africa and was changed forever. Today we're talking about art, conservation, community, and what it means to belong to a place, whether by birth or by calling. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Susan.
There you are in Nairobi. Technology's fabulous, isn't it?
It really is. It's beyond me.
What's the weather like there in Nairobi today?
Oh, it's very nice. It's the hottest month of the year, January.
Yes.
Having said that, it's not too hot. Nairobi has perfect weather, about 71, 72 degrees Fahrenheit. It's lovely.
Yes, I remember it well, very fondly. Yes. So tell me, we haven't really talked much since the publication of your lovely book. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that was written during COVID. I decided to post a painting onto Facebook every day with a little paragraph. When I started, I thought it would be for 2 weeks. But it ended up, as you know, for a very much longer time. And at the end, I had about 300 postings. And a publisher in London phoned me up, and Unicorn Publishers, and asked if they could publish a book. And they took about 275 paintings.
Wow, it's amazing representation of your work. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
I was very lucky.
Yes, indeed. And it's still out there, right?
Yes, it's on Amazon.
Okay.
It's called Lifting the Day.
Right, which of course we all look forward to during the time of the pandemic.
Well, thank you for that.
Yes, absolutely. So let's dig into your background a little bit. So you started as a graphic artist, but you were born and bred in Kenya, right?
Yes, I was born in Kenya, second generation born. My mother did not want me to be an artist. In fact, she did not want me to go to art school. She was very against a career like that, thinking that I would turn into a hippie. And so I did the next best thing, which was to join an advertising agency at the bottom in the studio, making the tea and doing the occasional rubbing out of somebody else's work or sticking up of somebody else's work. In those days, we used cow gum to make up advertisements. Very different from today.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, right.
So I joined an advertising agency and subsequently probably worked for 2 or 3 different agencies until I formed my own graphic design studio with 2 partners. And we serviced all the advertising agencies in Nairobi at that time. It was a lovely job.
Right.
And we had great fun doing it.
Yes. So when did you turn to abstract art?
Oh, well, that was it's been a long haul. You know, abstraction is the hardest. And I knew from a very early time that when I began painting, that it would take me some time to get there. You know, so many people think they can just do it. But if you do it well, you can't. And you need to know all the rules, all the techniques, all the mediums before you can actually go into abstract art.
Right.
So I probably really only began it maybe 20 years ago. I'm quite old now.
You will never be old, Mary.
And now I'm entirely abstract, where I put a mark down onto a canvas and the mark speaks back to me and tells me where to put the next mark. And the theory is the painting paints itself, and I'm just the instrument. So that is a very nice way of painting, but it's a very difficult way.
Do we call that intuitive art?
Yes, you could do. You could do that. It's yes, one is not actually in control.
Okay, well, speaks from the heart and the soul, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the theory anyway.
Great.
I have a quote which I like very much about abstraction.
Yes.
Art is a domain within which the imagination is paramount.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to switch over to Michelle now. Thank you so much, Mary. Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Susan. I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, indeed. I haven't seen you since the last show that you held, and your artwork was just delightful. I mean, some of those animals are just the sweetest. I loved that otter picture that you had, and also, of course, you do the cheetah, which is one of my favorite animal. So how did you get into all of this?
Well, it actually started when I was in veterinary school. I went to Namibia with the Cheetah Conservation Fund. Years later, I finished veterinary school. I got married. I had kids. And my sister talked me into going to a painting class. All of the work that I chose to paint came from references from my early trips to Africa.
Right. So what was the biggest influence?
You know what? I think learning about how art engages people to support conservation really gave me insight into how powerful painting can be and how I can contribute more to conservation with my painting.
Right. I mean, you had to start somewhere. And what was the biggest influence once you were in Kenya?
So I think I've got two very strong influences in terms of mentors. One is an artist named John Banovich, who I traveled to Kenya with for my very first time. He is very philosophical, very strong conservationist, and all of his philosophies just spoke to me. One of which I'm going to just give you a quote of his. There is no great nobility in creating an incredible painting. If I am going to be remembered, it is as a person who caused people to think and realize how important wildlife is. That really resonated with me. And then actually in the same year, I met artist Guy Coombs, who's from Kenya, and he's become a good friend and mentor. I've done many workshops with him, and I've been to Kenya with him a few times.
Ah, right. So, Michelle, after your first painting, how did you feel?
Thinking back, my first painting was actually two zebras that I photographed in Namibia when I was working with the Cheetah Conservation Fund, and they were just kind of nuzzling each other. And the emotional impact, I don't even think I realized it. Looking at the photo, it was pretty, but when I put it into paint and I spent extra time with those animals, there was just an extra emotional connection, and I was very proud and very moved by it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Where was that? In the Mara or in Kenya, or where was it at?
Well, it was one of my early paintings. It was before I'd been to Kenya.
Ah, right.
So it was actually in Namibia. The strongest emotional impact I've had is a painting from Kenya of Sudan, of the last remaining northern white rhino.
Right, yes. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Another reason I really love Kenya is there's such a tremendous variety in the ecosystems, anywhere from the beaches to the open plains to like the hills of the Aberdares. There's just such diversity and richness in the animal species, in the topography, whether you're seeing forest or cactus or mountains. It's just a beautiful, beautiful country.
Indeed, I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, absolutely. That is the truth of it. Mary, how does it affect you?
Affect me.
Yes, yes. I mean, being born there, it was normal. It
Um,
wasn't an introduction at all. This was life.
yes,
How it
I
was
was.
for you.
But what has particularly attracted me about Kenya is the light. The
Mm,
light is completely unique in this country. And I also live in Cape Town. I go there for 6 months of the year, and the light. It's the light that I chase there as well.
yes.
It's a white light, and it intensifies the colors. And color is my subject.
Hmm. Very much so, and very evident in your artwork.
Yes,
Yes, it's fabulous and
yes,
wonderful contemporary artist. And if we could see, it would be wonderful. But I can visually see, because we're on a Zoom, that some of the artwork in the background in your home, and I know it very well, having lived in Kenya, and it is very vivid, fantastic color. Yeah, wonderful compositions, and
yeah. Thank you,
sell worldwide, of course.
thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Well, as a young girl, the art that I admired was the artist in particular that I admired more than anybody else was Rothko.
Yes.
And it was the intensity of his colors and the simplicity in which he painted.
Hmm.
And he is still the numero uno for me,
All right.
all these years later, although there are many others.
Mm.
Um, and so I suppose right from the start, I was striving for abstraction.
Right, right. I see. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And as you say, the light is fantastic in Kenya. And Michelle, did you find as you were there that actually that was kind of an influence on yourself, or was it something else that attracted you?
Well, again, it felt so different there.
Mm,
So I think you do become just more aware of everything kind of
mm,
all at once. One of the reasons that I like to go back to Kenya specifically as a wildlife artist is the fact that it is, I'm not sure if it's the only, but it's one of the only countries that does not allow trophy hunting.
yeah.
So from a conservation standpoint, there's many ways to do conservation. There are many benefits of well-controlled hunting for a lot of other countries for conservation, but the animal behaviors are much more relaxed in
Mm,
Kenya,
mm,
and the rhinos all have their horns.
mm-hmm.
I've done safaris in South Africa where they dehorn to reduce poaching. And while it is one way to preserve these animals, it's not the same as seeing rhinos with their horns. They use their horns when they're interacting with each other. They use them for digging. They use them for so many things. So by altering these animals, we're altering their behaviors. And the fact that Kenya doesn't do that, I think it's very important to know that when you travel there, that you are supporting conservation of these animals in their natural states.
Right, okay. So, Mary, you transitioned from design to fine art and eventually abstraction. So, was there a moment when you realized you no longer needed structure or representation to tell the truth?
I think that that's actually quite misleading because I think that all abstraction needs real structure.
Mm, okay.
It doesn't work without.
Hmm.
And so it's probably the structure that I think of before I paint. Although these days I seem to paint from, the painting seems to come from inside, and I just kind of let it flow.
Mm,
And once I've covered the canvas,
hmm.
then I start to destroy and take out and take out and take out until I have almost a single color, predominantly little flickers of light. Having said this, I still paint what I see,
I paint the landscape, I paint flowers, I paint people. It just depends what I feel like. And then I can abstract those. Once they're on the canvas, I can destroy it all, and the abstract will come in on top of it all. But for those who are very observant, they will see what's beneath.
Right.
And the process is a very important part of the abstraction. I like people to see the process.
Right. Interesting. So very diverse to Michelle, who was just in, total composition of the actual piece in front of you, whatever it may be.
Although it's interesting to listen to you say that, since I'm a representational artist, versus abstraction. But even with my art, I go through the construct, deconstruct, reconstruct phase. You get stuff there, you take stuff out, and then you put stuff back in. And obviously, it's interesting to hear how important structure is for your abstract. It makes complete sense to me. But obviously, when I'm building animals, their structure or the structure of the landscape is, forefront on my mind. So it's interesting how similar we are with how different we are. And then, the use of color and light. Otherwise, my work would just be flat. So we have very much the same pillars that we're putting together and creating completely different work. So it's very interesting.
Yes, it is interesting.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. One would not necessarily connect it, and that's for sure. Have either of you ever felt pressure from collectors or audiences or institutions to paint in a way that wasn't true to you?
Not really. I have always avoided commissions. People have asked me to paint a certain thing for them, and I almost always turn it down because I don't want to be handicapped by somebody's idea of Mount Kilimanjaro, for instance,
right,
with zebras in front. I don't, that for me, I do not want to be put into a box. So I have been a free spirit all my life.
That's
and
wonderful.
Always turned down commissions. Yes.
Yeah, that's a great thing to say.
Yeah.
To be able to claim.
Yeah. Yes. You don't make so much money, though.
But you have your free will, Mary, and that is extreme.
Yes, I certainly do.
And I can't say I've ever felt any pressure as well. I know some other wildlife artists have, especially once they get known for a particular subject or style, and then they do something different. So I know that there have been many artists that have felt that pressure, but fortunately for me, I paint what I love. And if I'm not painting what I love, it's not going to come through in the work.
There we go.
So,
well, I know that Amboseli, Soisambu, Old Pejita, and the Mara have all claimed you, and you are going to return.
Wonderful places.
Yes, aren't they? Yes. And
they're all wonderful, wonderful places.
Yeah.
And they all have a very different atmosphere. And I have tried to paint that atmosphere, the feeling of a place. That is very much part of my work.
Yes.
The feeling, the emotion. And, every color has an emotion. And so I feel there is a visual language out there that can actually show the way you are feeling, seeing, being at that moment.
Right. Yeah. Can you give us any specifics on your interpretation of the different colors?
Yes. Joy is yellow.
Okay.
Red can be anger, but it can also be love. Green is very peaceful.
Yes.
Blue can be cold, but it can also be warm. It depends on what you put next to it. A blue with a pink next to it warms up, and with a red even more so. But a blue with a green will calm down.
Yeah.
So there is this language out there that is so incredibly important, but very few people actually know about it.
Mm. Yes, artists, I think most probably are first line to know about it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, the colors of Kenya are particularly fantastic. The red soil.
And all the different places that Michelle mentioned, they're all so completely different from each other.
Yes.
Yeah, like some of the areas, there's so much iron oxide in the soil that it creates the red elephants.
Yes.
Because the dirt just has, and there's actually some pigments that are used in paints that are made from the iron oxide, like burnt siennas. I mean, those colors are made from the same minerals that you find in that soil.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times, whether it's the pigments we're using to recreate what's in a particular place or the pigments we're using to evoke that emotion, the viewer may not know why they're feeling the emotions that they're feeling, but it's our job to help them feel the emotions.
Right. Right. I know. I mean, one can be in an art museum and sit and look at a painting for, quite a long time. I've known people that have just sat and looked at the composition and the color for an hour or so. I mean, it's just so much to absorb. And so when you go to Kenya, Michelle, obviously it's for the art, but what brings you back, keeps bringing you back?
I think every time you go, you have different experiences.
Mm.
I mean, every time you go. And, I remember the first time I went and you see your first zebra. And, of course, I've got my cameras. I do a lot of photography and I'm taking 150 pictures of a zebra that's chewing grass.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned after you get that initial adrenaline, that initial rush down, to sit back now. And now I can go and I can sit back and I can take in the scene. I can just feel it. I can be part of it versus hiding behind my viewfinder the whole time. I remember I had an art instructor for a while and she's like, well, what did you feel? I'm like, what do you mean? What did I feel? I was taking pictures.
Mm.
And then I realized I wasn't letting myself experience as much. So I think because I've been fortunate enough to go back multiple times now, I'm rediscovering new places. I'm learning more about the places and more about the programs that are happening. And it's fantastic.
And Mary, what still gives you the rush as you travel around Kenya? Because I know you paint.
Well, I was just thinking about a painting I'd done which was a green hill with an orange road going through it. And that orange was that burnt sienna that you talked about.
Right.
But I made it very orange. It was orange. The earth is orange here. It's a fantastic color. It's a very rich reddish orange. And when I look at that against flowers or green grass or under the blue sky, I find those things are very, very exciting for me.
Yeah.
Always how color bats up against another color. And it is always the neighbor of the color that you're painting that makes the color so intense.
Although being a Kenya hand, there are still moments where you just look around at your environment and marvel at it.
Yes. Oh, yes, very much.
Yes. Never grows old.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
And just by coincidence, just to throw in here, the link between you two is also Santa Cruz.
Yes.
Which is also a beautiful place because Mary's partner's son lives here.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. And of course, Michelle lives here. That's another.
Well, we're hoping to visit next year, or maybe this year, maybe.
Yes.
We're hoping to visit.
We definitely welcome you here. It would be wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes. And it's kind of interesting that as beautiful as Kenya is, so is this environment. And there's wildlife, marine wildlife, but there is wildlife.
Yes.
So there are some, similarities here. Yeah.
Yes.
But now, Mary, you opened an institution, didn't you? Ramoma.
Yes, I did. It was the Ramtula Museum of Modern Art.
Yeah.
There was no such thing in Kenya. There was no art museum, and sadly, it still isn't. But it did run for 10 years. And I had a partner, and we opened it in a building called the Ramtula Tower. They gave us the space, which is why we called it the Ramtula Museum of Modern Art. And shortly after that, we moved to a very large house in a suburb called Parklands here, where we really had the real deal. There were 7 galleries, some big, some small. There was a garden of sculpture. There was offices outside. And I really felt for a while that we were changing the face of art in Kenya. We were introducing it, actually. We had a constant flow of people coming through. We had sponsors. It was spectacular. And our main donors in the end wanted the building for something else. And so they pulled the funding and we closed. It was all a very sad story. But during the time that we were running, we introduced a lot of young people to art.
Yes.
There was a constant people coming in and out. There had never been anything quite like it in Nairobi. And we did a lot of good. Anyway, during that time, my own career took a tumble. Because I was so focused on this museum. And so I more or less stopped painting, really. I couldn't do. So when it did close, at least I had my painting to go back to, and that was a joy.
Yes, of course. But you did a lot to help promote young African artists, didn't you, with it?
Yes, I think we put Kenyan art on the map.
Yes.
Up at that time, nobody had really heard of any of the artists in this country. And we've got artists that are should be world-renowned.
Yes.
They're spectacular, some of the artists here.
Yes.
And I could see the standard going up and up and up while we were functioning. Anyway, it'll happen again.
Yes.
It'll happen again. Somebody else will have to do it.
Yeah. So what do the young artists do to promote themselves today? Do you know?
Well, there are very few galleries.
Yeah.
There's one main gallery, slightly out of town and not really in an accessible place for the public or the tourists. You have to know about it to go there.
Yes.
And there are 1 or 2 places where artists have studios collectively. That's good. A little organization called the Kuona Trust offers garages and studios and all sorts of little huts and things for people to paint in. And so the artists there are rubbing shoulders with each other. That also immediately raises the standard of art in this country, in any country, anywhere actually.
Yeah.
Before that, they were all working alone.
Michelle, where do you promote your work?
Well, that's a really good question. So I'm in the process of seeking gallery representation because most of it has to be done on like social media, doing live, like going to the festivals on the weekends and showing your work there, but you have obviously a limited audience. So I would say my downfall is actually my ability to market my work, just because I do so many other things. I don't have as much time or desire really to commit to trying to do all the social media. And I think that's where a lot of artists in other countries too, that's like their main outlet of trying to get any recognition. Like I've seen multiple artists from different countries in Africa on Facebook and things of that sort, so if they are good at doing that kind of thing, that's one way that they can get exposure as well. But yeah, for me, that's always a struggle. It's always a struggle is trying to get my work out in front of the audiences that would be looking for it and resonate with it.
Interesting.
So from an interesting, one of my trips to Kenya was actually, there is a small gallery in Karen called the Polka Dot Gallery. And my friend Guy Coombs, who's from Kenya, who's the son of Simon Coombs, he was actually doing a show in Kenya with his own work, but he had to take all of his paintings out of frames off stretcher bars, roll them all, and then restretch and reframe them when he got to Kenya, making the frames and staining them. And I thought, well, that's too much to do on his own, so I went with him just to help. But Guy had, so he did have, he does obviously most like wildlife art and a lot of Kenyan art, but he's also started a scholarship fund in his dad's name, the Simon Coombs name, for Kenyan artists, trying to help them both learn and have opportunities to go and paint in different places.
Oh, would that cross over to any of the artists you're thinking about, Mary, or is it just purely wildlife?
He's wildlife.
Okay.
I mean, he does some more contemporary work, but it's still wildlife themed.
Okay. So what are the themes of the young upcoming artists there in Kenya? Is it abstract or is there a
No, not yet. Not yet abstract. I remember somebody standing in front of one of my paintings once and saying, it was a very abstract one, it was pretty wild, and she said, "Do you know, I honestly think I could have done that." And I said to her, "Do you know, I honestly know you couldn't."
That's a great response.
I've got an exhibition out at Kitengela, which is the glass workshop. Have you been to Kitengela?
I have, years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago.
It is a fantastic place.
Yeah.
It's run by the Cruz family, Anselm Cruz, and Noni, his mother, who is now rather older and retired. And it's a massive place where they make glass of all sorts. And just recently they built a gallery, and it's a beautiful gallery. And so I've got about 18 paintings there.
Oh, fabulous.
Unfortunately, the road to Kitengela is abysmal. There's no other word for it. And it, probably a 15-minute journey takes an hour.
Oh dear.
And bumping about. And so it's not that, although they have 3,000 visitors a month.
Oh.
I know, it is amazing. Yeah. I feel that it's not as accessible to a lot of Kenyans, which is a sad thing. Anyway.
Has it made it to the safari visitors' kind of port of call?
Well, yes, they do get a lot of tourists. Yes, they do.
Yeah, well, that's great. Great for you.
Yes, hopefully. Yes, yes, hopefully. It's very hard to sell paintings, Yes. And I don't actually use a gallery here anymore. People come, if they want to buy from me, they come to the house or my studio, which is actually here in this apartment, because I live on the 12th floor.
Okay, well, yes, it is interesting on how distribution of art happens, and it's a massive topic, for people to be able to acquire it. I mean, if people wanted to buy from you now and they lived elsewhere, what would they do? Is there anything online representing?
Well, yes, they would look at my website, and then I would be in contact with them, and then show them what I've got available now. And if they bought it, I'd take it off the canvas, roll it up, and with instructions how to stretch it when it gets there.
Right.
So that I've done that.
Right. Okay.
Quite a lot, actually.
Yes. All right. Well, that's one venue for you. So hope the listeners have taken that.
And you must look up the Kitengela website. I'll give you the link later on.
Yes.
Because that is a very fascinating place.
Right.
And the glass that they do is it's all recycled glass.
Mm.
And they do every type of possible. I mean, it's all very arty there. It's a
Mm.
wonderful place.
Yes, I think I have one or two pieces from
It's
my time there. Yes.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
one. It's a future museum of this country.
Is that right? Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
very
Wow.
definitely.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
covers a large acreage.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you must visit
Yeah,
Michelle.
I must. This
Yes,
is
you must
my
go.
next trip. My next trip.
You
Yes,
Yes.
must go.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's spelled Kitengela. Is that correct?
Gela.
Yes. Yes,
Gela.
Kitengela.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
in Gela.
And so if you Googled it, it would come up, I'm sure, just Kitengela glass, Kenya.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
They're world famous.
Yes. Yeah. They have beautiful pieces. Beautiful.
Mm.
I remember you used to have some in your home years ago.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
You being interrupted there.
Extra.
Yes, I've got 18 paintings there at the moment, which is
Yes.
in the exquisite gallery, yes.
Yes. Wonderful. So, Michelle, let's kind of revert back to your work. You met Sudan, the last northern white rhino, and it clearly impacted you. So, do tell us about what you believe art must do on experiencing that.
Yeah, so it was in 2016 when I was at Old Pejeta with Guy Coombs and with my husband and with an artist and his wife. And at the time, Sudan, and it was the last male northern white rhino, and then the two females, Najin and Fatima. Oh, Fatu. Sorry, I'm messing up her name. Anyways, they were kept in an area where you could go, but you needed a safari vehicle to go in there, and you needed someone who could drive it. And I could not drive the safari vehicle we had, so I begged Guy. Like everyone was tired, they just wanted to go to the little restaurant and have some drinks and have some refreshment. And I said, Guy, please, I'll pay the extra entry fee. So Guy and I went in, and one of the protectors like jumped into the car with us, and then he told us where to stop, and he just kind of disappeared. And then he came back with a bucket of sweet potatoes and other vegetables, and this large rhinoceros just comes lumbering out behind him. And he just puts all the vegetables on the floor, and I mean on the ground, and Sudan just is like munching away, and then he waved to us to come off the vehicle. So like one at a time, we got to get off the vehicle, and I got to go up to Sudan, and they're like, oh, he really likes to be scratched. So I'm sitting there with this rhinoceros scratching his belly, and you can feel all the folds and just feel the skin as he's happily munching away at his vegetables. And I'm like, this is so great. I'm like, I'm scratching a rhino. I'm scratching the last male of a species. And then I'm like, oh my God, I've got my hands on the last male of a species and are going extinct in our lifetime. It was like elation and despair at the same time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I looked back, and I saw a Guy, and he just had tears just streaming down his face. I mean, it was just, I just cannot describe, I mean, what the feeling was. So I did actually paint Sudan, and I called the painting Sudan Facing Extinction. And it's, won multiple awards. It's one of the few paintings I will not sell.
Yeah.
However, it just, painting allows us to give permanence to a moment. It allows us to give permanence to things that are not going to be there forever.
Right.
And through paintings, it becomes a bridge to the person viewing the painting to help them connect and to help them realize that it's not the painting isn't the important thing. It's the connection, it's the inspiration, it's the acknowledgement that these places, these animals, it's all very important, and we are stewards here, and it is our job to protect and to take care of these lands that these animals are on and the people that inhabit them. So I just think art is such an important way of educating, of generating connection, of spreading messages.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
So,
And Mary, I mean, you speak with your work too, don't you? In your representation of what you do.
Well, I think it's quite a strange thing that having been born and brought up in Kenya, that my focus is really on the abstract expressionists
Yes.
who all came out of Europe
Mm.
and went to America. Those are the ones that I think about mostly. I'm looking at a landscape of an acacia tree and plains and things. What I'm seeing is the color, and I'm getting the feel of the place, and that is what I'm trying to paint.
Mm.
It's which is rather odd from someone from Africa.
Mm.
You know,
Do you suppose that
we're all different.
activism does come into, any of the influence on any of your paintings as the activism of representing Kenya or, the influence of Kenya?
Well, yes, it does because of the light.
Yeah, it's
The
the
light
light.
in
Yeah.
particular.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm also very affected by poems, and I'm inspired by poetry. So it's not just the visual, it's words that also really get me. I found something today which I thought was lovely. Can I just read it to you? It's just
Absolutely. Yeah.
three lines.
Mhm.
It may be that there is a balance in the universe that exacts the blood of multitudes for the vision of a single flower.
Mm.
And that was given to me by the flying doctor's wife.
Yes.
And I've just loved it. I've loved it, but I just came across it again today, so I thought I'd read it to you.
Well, thank you.
But that inspires me to paint, actually.
Interesting. Yeah.
Those few lines.
Yes. Yes. Two very different inspirations here, but
Yes.
both equally making a statement. Yeah, that's really,
But
really.
I have the warmth here, and I live in on the 12th floor of a skyscraper here in Nairobi, which is extraordinary. And when I moved in, I could see 180 degrees of the Karura forest, which is why I bought this apartment.
Yes.
And during the 8 years that I've been here, I would say probably 80% of that view has been destroyed with buildings
Oh,
in front
wow.
of the horizon and in front of the forest.
Yeah.
And I only have maybe a little 25% left now
My
of the
goodness.
forest.
Wow.
And there are two large buildings going up in that.
Mm.
So, but
How
what
long?
I do have
Go ahead.
in this sky place that I live in, the sky, it is the openness of the sky,
Hmm.
and below me is a field of green grass that belongs to the Oshwell community, and there's a huge lawn that I don't have to mow, but it
Brilliant.
inspires me. All these different heights inspire me tremendously.
Mm.
And this air that I breathe here
Yes.
is wonderful,
Mm.
even though I'm in the middle of the city now.
Yes, right. So how long have you been there? How long did all that take to develop?
Oh, well, we've been here about 8 years.
8 years. That's
In 8 years.
a lot of that's a lot of
It,
development in 8 years.
and as I talk now, there are 17 buildings going up in front of us.
Oh,
17.
wow. Wow.
And this is Africa.
Yes. Yes. That is the thing. Wow. That's a whole other topic, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
one of the places that I absolutely love to paint in is at the coast, Watamu,
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Mm.
or the Diani Beach, where
Hmm.
we have the best beaches in the world.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I
huge
argue with that.
expanses of white sand, fringed with palms, turquoise sea, and a reef, so
Yes.
that it's very safe to swim. And those are also very, very beautiful places to paint.
Yeah.
And I can paint them as I see them, which I often do, or abstract them
Yes.
because um, they remind me so much of Rothko, for instance.
Mhm.
There's a third of one color, then there's a horizon, and then there's a base.
Yeah.
And I get that at the coast.
Yes. There's no doubt the beauty of the coast
Yes,
is another element
yes.
altogether. Have you been
You
there?
must
I have not been to,
come, Michelle.
Oh,
no, that's again on my next
You
trip.
must come to.
yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it
But
is.
You'll have to go.
I do
Yes.
find it interesting that for both of us, so you chose your apartment with, having vast views of forest and having open grass and having, I mean, the open skies of Kenya, and especially like on the Mara. I mean, people think Montana's big sky country. Haven't seen anything until you've been to Kenya. Um,
Yes.
we chose our house because we have views of the bay from our house, and we've got some hills on the
Oh,
side. So again, we have very different styles, but we have these similarities that, and I think that's a lot of people that you're just inspired by nature. Being in nature makes you feel more creative, makes you feel more at peace. And so it's interesting for me to hear, like, yeah, I chose my apartment because I've got these, big vast views of a forest. I'm like, and I chose
yes.
my house because
Yes.
I've got big vast views of the bay.
Yeah.
It's just, again,
Yes.
really important, this connection, that this energy that it brings,
Yes.
you
Well,
know.
we're not going to
Yes.
argue about creative communities in both places. I think
Oh
they
yeah.
exist. I
Yeah.
mean, Kenya is full of creative,
Oh yeah.
you know, as is this whole
So
Santa Cruz
Santa Cruz
County.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
there's so much
And it's just
creativity
the
here.
inspiration and the energy that you get from being out in nature
Yeah.
or having views of just natural thing. I mean, it's just amazing.
Both beautiful spots.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I'm sure you'll enjoy it, Mary, when you come over.
Oh, yes. I'm much looking forward.
Good. Did you ever feel the
I
weight
lost.
of what you're communicating through art? Did you ever feel the weight of it, both of you?
I'm not sure I quite understand your
Well,
question.
do you obviously you're communicating what you see in front of you, the beauty of what you see in front of you, or a poem has inspired you. Do you ever feel kind of it's weighing on you until you finish your piece? What about, both of you?
Oh, oh yes. I mean, if I'm painting what I see,
Yeah.
I can actually finish a painting in about 3 hours,
Hmm.
even though I paint on a very large scale.
Oh,
Most of my paintings are about 5 foot,
yes.
but I can finish that very quickly. But if I'm in the middle of an abstract, it can take a year,
Mm.
although there are a lot of other things that go on at the same time. And the weight of that painting will gnaw away at me
Mm.
and go through many changes. And occasionally, practically, I feel like sometimes taking a fork or a knife and stabbing it. Uh,
That's quite a reaction, Mary.
yes. um, yes.
Yes, and what about you, Michelle?
I guess for me it'd be a little bit different, especially in the wildlife art genre. Just I feel more pressure and more weight to, well, first of all, make sure I'm accurately representing and getting the emotion
Yeah.
that I want, so that people like don't just go, oh, look, it's another elephant. I mean, I want them to feel something.
Hmm.
And also just trying to present things in a way that is fresh and is exciting and is something that they haven't experienced before. Like if you go into like Jackson Hole, where there's amazing wildlife art museums, you will see so many paintings of elk.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they all just kind of become the same.
Mm.
So how, if you are in an area and you're trying to represent something that you really want to stand out, to have some power, to evoke emotion, like how do you create something that has more of a narrative, has more of a story? So that's the pressure I put on myself, is trying to generate more of a narrative, trying to generate more of a story, trying to do something that is going to be exciting for the person to see it.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. Well, we're running out of time. Sadly, we are. And so I'm just going to thank you both for this fascinating conversation on art and, the different aspects and inspiration it gives to many people.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a pleasure, Susan. Although there are a lot of things that I would have liked to have said, which I didn't, unfortunately. Have we got 5 more minutes?
Sadly, no.
No.
No, but you know what? We can do this again.
Oh,
there's no reason why we can't do this again.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me, Susan.
Well, it's lovely to see you, and
I've actually got to get into my studio now.
Okay.
I've got to, just I've escaped for a while, and I've got to get back in there.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
And thank you for being up late, because it is late there in Kenya now. It's nearly 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So,
yes. Well, I'm an owl.
Just wait to have our websites link with the podcast.
Just announce them.
Okay. Well, yeah. So if anybody wants to know more about my art or wants to receive, usually every month to couple months newsletter where I usually talk about different animals or different paintings, my website is www.michelle, MICHELLE, McCune, MCCUNE, DVM.com. So I am a veterinarian, so that's why the DVM is there. But I welcome anyone to join. I'm also going to be teaching a workshop in South Africa with the conservation theme in September. And I've got early plans for teaching a workshop at Old Pejeta in Kenya in 2020.
Oh.
So anyone that might be interested in doing safari, being on the ground with conservation teams, just give me a shout.
Sounds great. Okay, we've got that.
And Mary.
Yes, and Mary.
Okay.
Your website
is www.marycollisartist.com.
Right.
Very simple.
Wonderful. So thank you both.
Thank you, Susan.
That's where we'll leave it for today. Thank you for spending this time with us here on Go Ahead and Tell Me, coming to you from Santa Cruz, where the conversations are honest, the pauses matter, and the stories keep unfolding. If something you heard today stayed with you, you're welcome to sit with it, talk about it, or pass it along to someone who might need it. And if you've got something to say, you already know we're listening. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Susan Douglas, your host. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and don't be afraid to go ahead and tell me.